What is going on, guys? We are back with another video, and of course, if you guys have been watching the channel lately, we've been doing this. Well, not really been doing it, but we did a Jets one of this before, and we're doing another one. This time it is 2012 through 2014. If you guys have any suggestions for what teams / years, leave me, a comment in the comment section. These are actually becoming one of my favorite things to do because I get to look back at like, oh wow, I can't believe this happened or this happened, and then obviously I get to look at, oh, the Packers, damn, they had a great draft, or wow, how did they mess up there? So I will put up a lot more of these, especially when we can get more views. So maybe leave a like on the video if you guys enjoy this. But of course, none of that crap. We are on to the actual redo portion. I really don't want to show you guys the team, so I'm just going to keep flickering between. I don't know if I'm going to remember to do it, but with the third overall pick in the 2012 draft, the Browns took one Trent Richardson. And of course, not a great pick. Not at all. I remember when the Colts traded for him with a first round, and people were like, damn, what a steal. The Browns got lucky. They got very lucky. But instead of that, they take a little-known guy named Luke Kuechly. And Luke Kuechly, obviously, a bit of a beast. Obviously, a much better pick. And I do have like slashes on their names, so if it was close, I put a slash. So if they didn't, like this one didn't, it means Luke Kuechly was clearly the best choice. Then, with the 22nd pick overall, the Browns, they were off to a terrible, terrible year. I believe this was part of the Julio Jones trade. They select Brandon Weeden, who was like a 26-year-old or 28-year-old quarterback, which was just ridiculously dumb. And instead, they take a Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith is one of the best safeties in the league right now, if not the best free safety right now. He's doing damn well, especially over the last few years, and obviously a much better choice. Then with number 37, we have a familiar theme. It is defense. Not a bad pick here, but I don't believe he is on the team anymore, so obviously we're going to say that it needs to be redone. Mitchell Schwartz with the 37th pick. Like I said, not a terrible pick, but instead of Mitchell Schwartz, they land Bobby Wagner. Yes, they have the best middle linebacker draft of all time, and now reside with the greatest core ever assembled. Not really ever assembled. The Bears had there's some pretty good linebacker cores, but definitely the best right now. Then to move on to the 87th pick, all the way from 37 to 87, they take John Hughes, and instead they take T.Y. Hilton, a much better choice. And it's kind of ironic because the next pick at 100, they take Travis Benjamin, which isn't a bad pick. It really isn't, but of course he is now a Charger. And instead of Travis Benjamin, they could have had Kirk Cousins. He's playing pretty well right now. The contract situation's a little weird, but I would say Kirk Cousins is clearly a better option than anything that is in Cleveland. So I would argue that it's the better pick, clearly. Now with 120, they take James Michael Johnson, who I think was on the team. But instead, this is a 50-50. This is tough, especially as a Packer fan, but I decided to go this way. They could have either had Mike Daniels or Josh Norman. I'm going to say cornerback is a very tough position to fill, so we went with Josh Norman instead of Mike Daniels in this one. And, they take Josh Norman at 120 instead. Now this pick, not crazy, not super fun, but at 160, the Browns took Ryan Miller, who I believe was a defensive tackle, if I'm not mistaken, and instead they take Marvin Jones, a much better pick, which gives them now another great or solid wide receiver option. And then this one, at 204, they took Emmanuel Acho, and instead they take Rashard Matthews, number 204. And now we are starting to get into the undrafted players, but it still counts. Number 205, they took Billy Wynn, who was playing in the league for a little bit, so I don't know if he's still around, but instead they take Vontaze Burfict, an obvious better option. He moves division rivals here. And then a position you guys probably didn't expect to make the list, Justin Tucker, number 245. Instead of, I believe it was Telvin Wade, the cornerback, they take Justin Tucker, 245. And then, I don't know how the hell he made it as a Raven. It's supposed to be on our team, but at number 247, instead of Brad Smelly, the tight end, I believe his name was Brad Smelly, they take, not Justin Tucker, Damon Harrison, who was obviously taken by the Jets. We'll have to get Damon Harrison after I'm done introducing the players. So, of course, 2012, a huge year for the Browns drafting. Not a great one for results, the majority of these picks are going to be from 2012 because a lot of that was from the Julio Jones trade. 2013, though, a lot of people say, oh, now terrible decisions. That Julio Jones trade was terrible for them. But they make up for it. Instead of taking Barkevious Mingo, number 6 overall, they take DeAndre Hopkins. And they fill a not quite as good as Julio, but a wide receiver position with a great talent here. And I know they have Njoku now, but 68th pick, they take Leon McFadden. And instead, they take Jordan Reed here. And now I believe we're actually moving on to undrafted players. I believe A.J. Boye was an undrafted player for the Texans. And instead of Sammy Slaughter, the Browns take A.J. Boye at 175. Then continuing the undrafted theme, the Browns, instead of taking Armonte Bryant, take C.J. Anderson, number 217. Armonte Bryant, I think, was actually on their team for a little bit, but still obviously not as good as C.J. Anderson. And then the last pick of 2013, instead of taking Gilkey, I've never even heard of, they take Ryan Trader, 227 from the undrafted spot. Now, moving on to 2014. This is a little bit of a tough one, but because we have Hopkins, Marvin Jones, T.Y. Hilton, and Rashard Matthews, and all the guys we already have, instead of taking Odell, the Browns took Justin Gilbert, which is a complete bust, but instead of taking Odell, we take a guy that's been even better, and that is, of course, Aaron Donald, number 8 overall. Can't go wrong with that pick. I had to find him as well. I don't know why he's not on the team, but number 22nd, of course, the Browns take Money Manziel, and that was obviously a complete and utter bust. And instead, they would have taken Jason Verrett with the 22nd pick. Now, a similar face we're used to seeing. Number 35, Joel Bitonio. Not a bad pick, but since he's not on their team anymore, we're going to redo that and say 35 belongs to Derek Carr. They would obviously not pass on him knowing what they know now, if only they could know it. And then number 71, a surprise pick. They actually get it right, in my opinion. Number 71, they take Christian Kirksey, who they did re-sign recently, and that was the correct pick. And then another similar site in 2014, number 94, instead of taking Terrence West, who's not a bad player, he's still in the league right now, they take Devontae Freeman, who is the starting running back for us right now. And then with the very last pick of the 2014 draft and the very last pick of the redo, we see an undrafted pick, not really needed because of how well we already have our players, but Malcolm Butler, 127, instead of taking Desire, who I believe was a free safety. He might have still been on the team before we cut him. But nonetheless, fill in Damon Harrison here and, Kirk Cousins here. And I remember there was another guy as well. I just can't find him. I can't remember. We have a damn good squad here. So, obviously, Verrett. I'm not even going to trade for Verrett. We don't even need him. But I will get Damon Harrison. But obviously a much better draft over the 3 years, or much better team over the 3 years. Offensive line, that's been a trend recently that offensive line has not been upgraded properly or just hasn't been great in the draft as the best available talent. But that is beside the point, as we clearly have a much better roster. I don't remember seeing what the overall for the team was, but I think it was 88 or 89 or higher. It was really good. Got Damon Harrison. I suppose it'd be time to start. Oh, Jesus. We actually need to put Garrett in. I don't know why they wouldn't have him in. Going to the playoffs to see if the Browns can go 16-0 is one of those rosters that very well could be a 16-0 team. I'd predict 14-2. I mean, the Jets roster was 13-3, and it's nowhere near as good as this redo, I don't think. 12-4, not quite as well as I thought we would do, but still leading the division by quite a bit. Show you guys that we didn't cheat. Don't know why we would even I don't even know why we would need to, but it is what it is. I should really start creating, instead of creating my coaches, I'm going to probably start just choosing an AI coach, one I can just control. 33-8 for Derek Carr, just under 4,000 yards. Devontae Freeman, most likely running back of the NFC. Oh, actually, we're the AFC, so probably not. Le'Veon Bell will probably take that. Under 1,000 yards for each receiver. Not impressive at all, but at the same time, almost 1,000 for 3 of them. So, offensive line, Joe Thomas gives up 13 sacks. That seems a little ridiculous. Bobby Wagner. Aaron Donald had 23.5 sacks. Bobby Wagner, as a middle linebacker, had 15.5. Burfict as 7. Are we in a 3-4? I don't see why we would be. I have no idea. That is shocking. But Aaron Donald does break the NFL sack record, which is pretty impressive. Justin Tucker breaks my heart, is what he breaks. 7th offensive, defensive rank, 5th. Let's take a look at everything. Do we have anyone? Derek Carr at number 8. Coach of the year, not us, even though that's a damn lie. Derek Carr, defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald, of course. Best running back. There was that many better than... Oh, it's defense. Oh, my God, I'm so stupid. I was about to say, okay, so the only one guy beat us, and it was Le'Veon Bell. I just had a seizure moment. Joe Thomas, 13 sacks allowed, still best lineman. Interesting. Aaron Donald, best D lineman. Bobby Wagner, best linebacker. Best kicker, obviously not our guy. It's like not even close. But we do make the playoffs at 12-4, and we did have a pretty damn good season as a team. Here are the upgrades. Devontae's almost a 99. Same with Reed. Hopkins is close. Defensively, Wagner almost a 99. Aaron Donald goes to a 99. So one hell of a team. Can we win the Super Bowl? I really wonder how long it's going to take before we win a Super Bowl with one of these rebuild teams. This could be it. Let's see. 12-4 versus 12-3-1. And we win it. On to the Super Bowl. Do we win? I was about to say, how long is it going to take? It could be right here. League schedule. Let's take a look. Did we win the Super Bowl? And we lost. Divisional game, we won by 5. Conference game, we won by 3. And then we lost by, what is that, 19? I don't even know. I can't even do the math there. Is that 19? Is that 21? I think that's 21. Yeah, it's 21 points, I believe. 260 rushing yards. You cannot give up that much and win the game. LeGarrette Blount destroyed us. Absolutely destroyed us. Devastated our defense. And the quote-unquote dry streak, I mean, we've only had 2 episodes, but the dry streak continues. No rebuild team or redo team gets a Super Bowl yet. It is Jets and Browns finished so far. I'll probably just keep doing teams in the rebuild style of we just keep going with a new team each time, even though, to be fair, we could easily do 2009 through 2011 or something, you know. But I think for now, we're just going to go with what you guys suggest. I prefer not to go with the same years all the time. It's nice to, you know, go back and forth here and there. So next team could very well be 2009 through 2011. But I would want one of those teams to be a good team already. Or, you know, we'll do a couple of years. I want to do 3 years because I think that makes the team A1. But at the same time, maybe 3 years is too much. So maybe for the good teams, maybe the teams that are over 500 last year or are projected to go over 500, we'll only do 2 years. And then the teams that aren't great, we'll do 3. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoying this little quote-unquote series. Yeah, if you have any suggestions for the series, let me know. Any requests for what team / years, let me know that as well. Any what-if / experiment video ideas, let me know that as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys come back for next video. Tomorrow should be a rebuild. I'm not saying it will be, but there's a good chance it will be. But until next video, see ya!